Hey, my name is Dr. C. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician, and today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of sleep and how to get better sleep. Now, sleep is really important. Lack of sleep is actually said to be able to kill you. There was a 1989 study that was performed on sleep-deprived rats. All of the rats died due to infection. Lack of sleep increases your inflammatory markers, which makes you more prone to infection. And some infections can be severe enough to kill you. I remember during school, I would joke around with my classmates that I wish I didn't have to sleep as much, because that way I would be able to get more work done. But the more and more I would cut into my sleep, the less and less I was able to actually accomplish. Most people regard sleep as some sort of weakness, something that you can power through or caffeinate through, but the fact of the matter is sleep optimization not only can help you accomplish more, it can actually help you optimize your overall health, from improving your mood to helping you achieve your fitness goals. So if you would like to learn how to get more work done, from finishing up that to-do list to getting started on that bucket list, keep watching. Lack of sleep can actually also impair you to the same extent as alcohol intoxication. A study performed by the School of Psychology in Sydney, Australia, showed that those who commonly experienced levels of sleep deprivation performed similarly to those who had a blood alcohol level of 0.05. For reference, in the US, in most states, the legal limit of alcohol intoxication for non-commercial drivers is 0.08, and that for commercial drivers is 0.04. Another study showed that 1 to 2 hours of less sleep doubled your risk of a motor vehicle accident, and a 3 to 4 hour loss of sleep quadrupled that risk. Simply, people who experience sleep deprivation just don't respond to stimuli as quick, and they have a decreased ability to perform tasks that require a higher level of cognitive functioning, and that's even after one night of sleep deprivation. Lack of sleep might be making you fat. In a study that was conducted by the University of Chicago, people who were sleep deprived actually showed a decrease in blood levels of leptin, which is a hormone that decreases your appetite, and an increase in blood levels of ghrelin, which is a hormone that increases your appetite. In another study, there were participants that were divided into groups. Both groups were under a moderate calorie restricted diet, and both groups had a similar exercise regimen. And then one group was restricted to 5.5 hours of sleep a night, and the second group was allowed 8.5 hours of sleep a night. The participants who received less sleep actually experienced 55% less weight loss compared to those who had adequate amounts of sleep. And in my personal experience, when I'm sleep deprived, I notice that I have less energy to put into my workouts, and furthermore, I tend to gravitate towards foods that are significantly unhealthier than I would gravitate towards if I had enough sleep. Lack of sleep can result in a mental status similar to depression and anxiety. That association becomes pretty impactful when you think of the fact that 20% of Americans experience anxiety, and major depressive disorder is the leading cause of disability in persons aged 15 to 45. Also, chronic sleep loss is associated with increased risk of diabetes, heart disease, overall mortality. Furthermore, too much sleep as well as too little sleep can negatively impact your health. So it's important not to get too much, and it's important not to get too little. Now that we discussed just how important sleep is, I wanted to talk about habits and how to improve your sleep. Good sleep is based on quality of sleep and quantity of sleep. Quantity of sleep is often discussed. That's, of course, how much sleep your body needs. Quantity of sleep varies based on your age, your genetics, and vary from person to person. In general, people who are younger require more sleep, and people who are older require less sleep. The following is a table that was created by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine and the Sleep Research Society. It's a guideline based on age. Some people vary in the amount of sleep that they require from this table, which is just meant to serve as a guideline, a way to kind of experiment with how much sleep you need individually is to vary the duration of sleep that you get for a few nights, and see which duration of sleep your body requires in order to perform at your optimal best, including being able to stay awake and alert during situations that are otherwise tedious, monotonous, boring. In addition to the duration of sleep that your body needs, sleep quality is important as well. I wanted to segue into habits that will improve your overall sleep. Number one, try and get to bed and wake up at the same time or around the same time each day. That includes on days off. And once you're up, try and get out of bed. In order to help with this, I try and set an alarm that reminds me to go to bed. The next tip is to try and pay attention to the environment that you're sleeping in. It's important to try and remove any interruptive stimuli from your sleep environment. Interruptive stimuli includes bright lights, loud noises. Ways to eliminate that include wearing a sleep mask, which I enjoy. You can also try and address or shut off any machines or equipment that produces interruptive sound. If there is noise that you can't turn off, perhaps you can use a sound machine to negate the interruptive sound that you're experiencing and that interferes with your sleep. Of course, it's also important to address the clothes you're wearing, the mattress that you're sleeping on, the pillow that you're using to create that comfortable environment to help you sleep better. Next, try and turn off all devices at least 1 to 2 hours before bed. These devices include your television, computer screens, phones. These devices emit blue light, which suppress melatonin production, resulting in a decreased ability to fall asleep. If you're unable to do this, there are many devices which have a nighttime mode, which you can enable at a certain time, which decreases the blue light emitted from the screen. It's important to understand that blue light is still emitted by these screens. So if you can turn them off, that would be ideal. As an alternative, you can try and wind down with quieter activities, like reading a book or engaging in a nice, luxurious nighttime routine. Try to avoid caffeine later in the day. I personally am a slow metabolizer of caffeine. Some people are, and I try and avoid caffeine after about 12 or 1 p.m. Try and avoid large meals and alcohol before bed, and if you can, try and avoid nicotine or tobacco completely. These, of course, can interrupt your sleep. Exercise will help you regulate your sleep cycle as well as having additional health benefits. It's important to try and exercise at least 3 to 4 hours before bed because exercise right before bed can have a stimulatory effect. Regular bright light during normal daytime hours will help you regulate your circadian rhythm, so try and step outside during the daytime a bit. Finally, and this last recommendation is quite obvious, but try and deal with all stress and problems before bed. Like all lifestyle changes, addressing your sleep hygiene is going to be a process. Don't be dismayed. Don't be dismayed if you fall off the bandwagon and need to get back on track. That's life. Finally, if you have symptoms of a sleep disorder such as snoring or being fatigued during the day, despite getting an adequate amount of sleep, you should talk to your doctor. The information provided on this video or on the internet in general should not be regarded as a substitute for the advice and a discussion with your physician. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it helped you realize the importance of getting your sleep and gave you some helpful tips as to allow you to do that. If you liked what you saw in this video, please head over to my website, LivingListed.com. You can sign up for my email list and get my ultimate guide to creating and conquering your living list, as well as getting your life in order sent straight to your inbox. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.